And here we go.
We are live. Here we go. So,
Episode 2.
episode 2.
Attack of the Clones? Wait, no, people
No.
don't like that one.
No.
Bad example. Okay, no.
What are episode 2s? That's really
Electric
like,
Boogaloo.
Get out.
No.
Actually, I don't know anything else that uses like episodes the way Star Wars does.
Yeah, I really don't think...
TV shows.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
that doesn't really
guess.
work.
It does work. Just doesn't work as well.
In any case, episode 2, Tech and Games Show. I'm Brandon King,
Don Crawford.
Adam Evans.
and Don and I run Streams for Dreams. We are a charity stream thing. We stream games every now and then.
Yeah.
We do this talk show every now and then.
All,
Do-
to
do-
benefit a little bit of charity.
Hashtag for the kids.
Hashtag.
Right now, we've been raising money for Child's Play charity.
Mhm.
You can see our donations on that side, right where I'm
Yep.
pointing. Yeah. We've had two 48-hour streaming events. It's been a lot of fun. We're working on the date for the next one, so stay tuned for that. What's up,
That's coming
Courier
up.
and Hearts Alex? Welcome to the show.
Apparently I look pretty.
He looks pretty. Hashtag.
Yeah. They're
speaking-
important.
And you know that's what Don and I do.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam, why don't you tell us what you do?
I help run Tech and Games. We're a community organization group on Facebook and throughout our website and everything. And we just are a bunch of gamers and people into tech and everything. And we're just going to get together, talk about what we like, and share new ideas, help fix problems.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
And you can get a link to the Tech and Games community below the stream. There
Actually,
should be a
right
thing.
under me.
Yeah, it should be right under you.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
fortuitous.
So that's
Yeah,
Tech and
actually, the
Games.
seating arrangement worked out well.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Indeed.
The donations to click to donate should be right under Don.
Yeah. Should be.
Right there. Yeah. But yeah, you click that Child's Play logo. Feel free to donate. We'll read any donations on the stream. And Tech and Games also has a site now. TechandGames.gg. The link for that is there, right under Adam.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I know we've been a little bit inactive as of late with the holidays and all that fun stuff, but
but it's gonna pick up.
yeah, we're revamping and we got a whole bunch of new stuff in the works.
2016 is gonna be a big year for Tech and Games and Streams for Dreams, right?
Yeah.
Indeed, that's the plan.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about some things in tech, and some things in games.
Let's do it.
Seems appropriate.
I think we should start with one of the most mind-blowingly awesome technological advancements that we have right now, and that is SpaceX's Falcon 9.
Did you watch the live stream?
Yeah.
I was sitting there so extremely excited.
I was like,
over that.
is it going to land? Is it going to land? And it landed straight
Yeah.
up. Last time, the Falcon 9 tried to land on a barge in the middle of the ocean.
Actually, before that, the last time they tried it, they couldn't even achieve orbit that time. They had
Yeah.
a pretty big issue.
But the actual landing,
Yeah.
it was really cool. It's really close, and then it fell over, and the whole thing just exploded.
Right.
I
I think
Yeah.
Elon Musk referred to it as a rapid, unexpected disassembly event.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds about right. But recently, a couple weeks ago, they had the Falcon 9 land straight up, and it was awesome. Now here's why this is great. Space exploration is so cool, but it's expensive. The Falcon 9, I believe, costs about $9 million to make,
Mm-hmm.
and only $200,000 to fuel.
Wow.
Yeah.
So by getting to reuse this, they can refuel it so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And-
cheaper than a lot of those military jets, too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So we can relaunch this thing into orbit for $200,000, and it was only like 2 weeks between the time it landed and the time they said it is ready to go again.
Yeah, I think the picture that Elon Musk posted the other night, it just showed a little bit of like paint scoring and everything. And that was about all the damage that you could see. And I mean, for something that went from the ground to orbit, then back to the ground in one piece,
Mm-hmm.
I think some, a car wash essentially for rocket ships is more than fitting to take care of that problem.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting to me. space exploration.
And the way they did it too is, I mean, we saw Jeff Bezos or whatever from Google launch the
Jeff
Neva-
Bezos is Amazon.
Oh, my mistake. Yeah, do his fancy rocket that took off and landed vertically and everything. But there's a bit of a difference here. I mean, this is a 15-story tall rocket that achieved full orbit.
Yeah,
And then
and it had the
shot-
Dragon capsule on top of it. It got the Dragon capsule in orbit, came back down.
Yeah, launched those. I think it was the Orscom 2
Yeah.
satellites.
You know what's crazy? The whole thing is automated. Like, there's no human driving it.
Right.
It's so much safer than previous space travel.
Yeah, and I know they're working on the Falcon, or not the Falcon 9 Heavy, the Dragon 2 manned capsule as well.
Okay.
To start fueling, getting people up to the International Space Station, and I mean, Elon Musk ultimately wants to get us to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. Let's colonize the heck out of Mars.
Yep.
So, you guys can look that up, the Falcon 9. Now, something that you could possibly do, actually, would be take something like the Falcon 9 and Dragon capsule into space and fight aliens? Think you could fight aliens in space?
If there are aliens,
Ooh.
We have to find him first.
yeah.
We're going to avoid the whole existential, are there aliens? Are we alone? Sort of conversation. We'll save that for another time. But let's assume you could fight aliens.
You could always fight aliens. I mean, that's what Independence Day taught us.
Yeah, there's a new movie coming out for Independence Day as well.
It's gonna be terrible.
But let's say you could travel to like some cool space base or something and fight aliens. You can't really do that right now. But you can do that in an upcoming game called Strafe. Now, have you guys heard of Strafe?
Yeah.
Right, Strafe is a hyper-realistic action sci-fi shooter adventure racing through maps that always change game. And you guys can see more info on that here. They just released their preview build, actually. They have like 1 or 2 levels that you can just hammer through. They got a few guns and you kill these aliens. It's actually really tough. I played for like an hour and
Is it the new Doom?
it sort of feels like it.
That's the feel I got from watching a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's very Doom-esque,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of newer, but it's got that retro feel.
Yeah, they really captured the retro vibe. Do we want to do the trailer for
Yeah,
it?
we can watch the trailer for that actually right now before we talk a little bit more about this. Now, note that this is kind of violent, so if you are adverse to violence, don't watch.
Yeah.
So tight!
It's my turn.
Trevor, don't want! Too fast!
Trevor, you're not playing that revolutionary extreme combat simulator Strafe, are you?
No! What are you doing?
I want to get some.
No, Trevor, you'll just die!
Correct.
Great, space-melting, big, mind-blowing, ultra-real sci-fi action. Strength, finger-triggering advanced AI, auto-generating levels of out-of-this-world carnage. Strength, short-lived lives, death-defying death.
The levels always change! You won't win! It's not You can't handle the intense gameplay! No! No! No!
Okay.
How could you? He was just a boy.
1960 or 1996.
Oh god, that display. Oh, whew, there we go. That was intense, right?
It was
Yeah.
a little intense.
A little bit.
Looks like a lot of fun though.
So, that is Strafe. And, like I said, I played a little bit of the preview. They gave me 3 weapons to choose from. And you just, like, hammer your way through this crazy infested world. You have to get, like, a percentage of the way through it. I only managed to get through 31%.
Wow.
There was something shooting lava at me. It was crazy. You're right, Courier. Sensory overload. That's exactly what this game will provide for you. So are you gonna get straight?
Well, sorry. Yeah, we didn't want to ruin your immersion.
The immersion.
That's why we weren't as loud.
So, do you think you'll get Strafe and play it when it comes out?
Yeah, I'm thinking I will. It looks like a lot of fun.
I might. It depends on if I got someone to play with.
You'll have someone to play with.
Okay.
I'll play with you. So that's
I might
that
be,
is
I might be too busy playing Overwatch. We'll see.
so that's Strafe. Okay. Now, Strafe seems like it might take place in like a sort of futuristic type world, maybe.
A little bit. Yeah.
I don't know. But you know what is kind of futuristic? That I think would be cool if they had in Strafe, yeah,
Strafe.
nanobots.
Ooh.
You guys know what's cool about nanobots?
They're really small.
And they're bots.
Yes, they're nano. And let's talk real quickly about nanobots. And there are these nanobots, and there's an article there actually, linked in the chat, where they have a picture, and these things are super crazy small, and they fight cancer cells. The implications of being able to do something like this successfully.
Potential for zombie apocalypse.
Okay, so Don suspects zombie apocalypse.
I'm thinking more superhumans.
Superhumans. So what are the nanobots going to do that'll make you superhuman?
It's just it adds into this whole idea of like human longevity. It's because
Okay.
they can go in there, they can start enhancing various chemical responses within the body. So, for instance, in using like an application like a super soldier or something like that, just have it like when a combat situation arises, just have that immediate like hyper adrenaline surge, or even for like pain receptors or everything, just completely numb that and continue
Okay.
on fighting.
I can see that.
I'm thinking like
Like not getting really into like the whole like turn everyone to Superman and everything like that, but give everyone like superhuman abilities in a way.
Okay.
I'm thinking like
So kind of enhancing what's already there, like your perception and reaction times. And
Right.
well, if we can get it to repair kill off cancer cells. See, I'm actually worried about this. What if it starts attacking the wrong cells? You're screwed.
Right,
Like,
'cause
oh, hey, I
well-
need the cells that keep me alive, but it's killing the bad ones. Now it's gonna start killing the good ones on accident. Like,
Well, it's just like your immune system.
yeah, but
You can have an autoimmune disorder.
the
and
problem
be-
with the difference between this and your immune system is if this screws up, there's a human to blame for it.
True.
There's a person liable for this.
Yeah, but all you got to do is set off an EMP and they're done.
Just
actually,
an EMP.
Yeah.
Well, like reading that, I mean, they're composed of DNA and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're synthetic.
So what if they are resilient to your EMP, Don?
Well, then they were poorly designed and executed, and then there is a human to blame.
Now what if someone hacks into their system and like shuts off your nanobots?
You don't pay your medical bill.
We're gonna,
Yeah.
We're gonna shut off the nanobots keeping you alive.
Yeah, it's like if you hack someone's pacemaker. I mean,
Yeah,
oh,
Has that
actually,
been-
Courier,
has that
that's
been
not
done
the
before?
pacemaker. Yeah, it was in an episode of Homeland.
Oh.
They got the code to someone's pacemaker, the vice president or something, and
Killed him.
killed him. Like, what if someone
This
does
is
that?
American
I don't want
television.
someone controlling my nanobots.
Yeah.
That's in my body. Those are my nanobots. I'm trying to survive cancer here.
Well, then just code them yourself. Create them yourself. Then.
Okay, yeah, I'll just do that.
Yep, and just get right on that.
After you read the article, you already know everything you need to know about nanobots, and you can create them on your own.
Pretty much.
Right, yeah.
Think we can make those?
Mm-hmm.
I say we make
You
those.
just might need to rent a lab for a week or two, and
A
you'll get it.
lab?
Yeah.
The one thing
Not
that,
any specific kind of lab, just a lab.
well, the
Okay.
thing, the
Because
thing
that
that's
kind of
really
science
interesting-
has to be done in a lab.
The thing that I'm just really excited for is just think of what we're looking at it here now, being able to fight cancer. And think of the other things that it could, take care of. Like if you have a blood deficiency where you aren't, your blood isn't clotting as well, or white blood cells for that matter, you can just throw some nanobots in there.
Have them do the job for it.
Right. If you say you're born with a genetic condition where your blood just doesn't clot anymore, or not really anymore, but doesn't clot very well, and you then throw nanobots in the equation early on, I mean that's a lifelong cure.
Have them do the clotting for you.
Yeah.
That
I
could
mean,
work.
there's a ton of interesting science behind it that I don't quite know, but I mean,
Well, usually if you have some sort of disorder like that, is like what the article is talking about. If you can, like, edit or change someone's like DNA in a way that, for example, like sickle cell, like if you can
Right.
fix that gene that's causing your body to produce the wrong protein structure for your red blood cells, then yeah, that's an immediate fix, and you don't even
Right.
need to necessarily keep the nanobots in there.
right, they can deactivate after a period of time, or kind of lay in a dormant state to where if it somehow starts to come back.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want dormant nanobots in my body though.
Yeah, but that'd be.
I feel like that's like you'll just end up getting control taken over.
to be that whole thing from Mass Effect, just
Yeah.
assuming direct control.
Pretty
Like
much.
that.
See, this is scary stuff.
Yeah. We're talking about the bad parts of nanobots. There's a lot of good to it.
Like the fact that it can heal cancer cells.
We'll kill them.
Heal you from the cancer cells by killing the cancer cells.
Without putting you through the giant thing of chemo and all that stuff, too.
Yeah, chemo and radiation sucks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Mm-mm.
Does that mean that there's going to become moral arguments over normal people and synthetic nanobot people than massive war over old people and synthetic?
We're not talking Deus Ex here, okay? That's been thoroughly played out. There's there's another one coming up, Mankind Divided. Go play that. That'll answer all your questions.
That goes over that whole scenario of that war between.
Mm-hmm.
But I think nanobots are very different than like augmentations and like enhancements to your body, because the way that they're
It's a kind of augmentation.
Yeah, but it's not
Or
like,
it
you
can be
know,
used
I
as
have a
that.
super strong arm now because I got my arm replaced by a robotic one.
Yeah.
It's a very different concept. It's not like I can just have the inside of my skin on my arm lined with nanobots to make it super durable. Like internal armor, actually, that'd be pretty tight.
Yeah. Instead of an exoskeleton, you have a secondary inner skeleton.
And now we're just creating the Master Chief at this point.
Yep.
All right. I think
Doesn't Master Chief wear a suit?
Yeah.
Kind of
he
like
has
that.
Oh,
both.
Yeah.
That's why you can't kill him.
Oh,
Unless
gosh.
you suck at Halo.
Yeah, that's why he has
What
no
if-
face either.
But what if you had one of those exosuits from Fallout 4?
I think I would wear one of those.
Do you think you could take out Master Chief in one of those?
Yeah. I think we could.
I'd like to see that. Let's put that in the Halo movie.
Fights a Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Someone in a Fallout 4 suit.
Marcus
Yeah,
Phoenix
someone
in
just
the
comes
Fallout
down
4
in a
suit.
Fallout 4 suit.
You know, I'm sure that people who play Fallout 4, if they could get one of those suits, would totally fight a Master Chief. Especially because Fallout 4 had people doing more Fallout 4 related things than doing things like watching porn.
Yeah.
What? That's
Pe-
crazy.
People stopped. Yeah, segues are weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, they, like,
People
roll around on the
actually
floor.
stopped watching porn to play Fallout 4, and Pornhub actually has a whole data analysis team, and they
'Cause what else are you gonna do when you're not watching porn?
yeah right
Analyze data
yeah
relating to porn.
so they actually put out this nifty little article on how Fallout 4 release just like dipped their traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Like people were just watching less porn because they were probably trying to build a Fallout 4 suit to fight Master Chief.
Yeah, of
Right.
course.
So I do find it funny that there was such a dip in traffic too, that it was extremely noticeable.
Yeah, and just so you know, the link that I posted in chat is their whole analysis. That is a safe for work site. Safe for work link. I should probably say that. There's no porn on that link, but it goes into the trends of various countries and whatnot, and how porn traffic just massively dipped the week after the Fallout 4 release.
And like the week after that was a subsequent rise of all the people who just got dumped by their girlfriends because they were spending too much time playing Fallout.
Yeah. Is that what it got attributed to?
I actually didn't notice that. I was just speculating, but I would not be surprised whatsoever if that was the case.
Oh, the dangers of Fallout 4. There's pros and cons.
Fallout
Still
4.
shows up. Yeah, it is the Pornhub site, Hearts Alex, but it is their Insights blog, which is no porn on there.
Yeah, it's like the legal section on YouTube. There's not really a video there. Actually, I think YouTube's legal section has a video. But bad example.
Just saying, if
It's like-
Pornhub teamed up with Fallout modders to make a Pornhub themed mod for Fallout 4, we could yeah, you very well could. Good luck getting them to do it. There's gonna be some mod to do stuff like
I'm
that.
pretty sure there was within the first week.
I believe
I think
it.
r/gaming had a couple of those.
Now, you know who probably definitely stopped watching porn to play Fallout 4? This guy here. And I'm sending another link. And
It's all about links.
It's a Kotaku link. And it talks about a game player who did a no-kill Fallout 4 run.
Yeah,
His name
he-
is Kyle Hinckley.
He essentially broke the game.
Yeah. See, Todd Howard, the director of Fallout 4, has said multiple times how the game was not designed to be played through with a non-violent run. It is definitely designed to...
Be a violent game.
Yeah, it's... In the past, you've had options, like really good options, where you could play and you might be able to avoid conflict here if you wanted to, or take the conflict route.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy spent so much time finding a way to play it through without any kills. And it is awesome. In that article, he actually they have a link to his playlist where he has all of his, well, not all of his gameplay footage, but a lot of his gameplay footage. And like just the final main battle, I think he said he spent like 15 hours just on that alone. And it was just massive amounts of gameplay put into this trial and error with not a lot of results until he finally got it. The guy practically broke the game doing this.
Pretty much. You kind of have to, especially when the game like if you look at like Deus Ex, Human Revolution. In that game, you can go through the whole thing without killing anybody except the 3 main bosses. You have to kill them. This game, or with Fallout 4, was a little bit different because he essentially tricked the game into either like not having to kill the people or like the AI kills the AI.
Yeah, he did that a lot where he basically used the counter on his Pip-Boy that keeps track of how many kills you have. And this includes like bugs and animals and everything. Like
Even down to the smallest little rad roach.
Yeah, you can't kill a rad roach even. And he had to trick the AI into killing each other. And I'm not patient enough for that, but I would watch the hell out of someone trying to do that run.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Speaking real quick of watching game runs, starting tomorrow actually is Awesome Games Done Quick Winter.
Yeah, check out Awesome Games Done Quick.
And they typically raise millions. They typically get just
Oh,
over
it's
a million.
over a million.
Each event, and it goes for a whole week.
about a
It's
million
24
and a half.
hours a day, and they do speed runs of games. And if you want to see people break games,
Oh, it's
watch
hilarious and
that.
awesome.
Their whole site, they have their whole schedule up. It's so fun to watch.
Yeah, you can just Google AGDQ or just GDQ or Games Done Quick, and it'll pop up. It's a charity. It's also a charity stream. I think they're doing the Prevent Cancer Foundation. That's
Yeah.
what they have done in the past.
They did Doctors Without Borders last time.
Oh yeah, they do Doctors Without Borders in the summer, and then they do the Prevent Cancer Foundation in the winter.
Yep.
So it's a ton of fun. You'll probably find all three of us watching at some point or another. But check out the schedules, see your favorite games, and hit them up too.
They probably won't have to raise money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation
Because
once
they
they
have the
have nanobots.
Maybe they should give it to the nanobot researchers.
I know,
That's
right?
preventing cancer.
Yeah, more long-term solution.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could work. And in the games, we talked briefly about how this guy had the AI kill the AI.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to talk real quick about AI, artificial intelligence. Now, the AI that we're most familiar with, from movies,
Skynet.
and the AI in games, which tends to be pretty crappy. You ever play CS:GO with a bot? Horrible. And a lot of the AI in games is pretty dumb.
What about aimbots?
Yeah, that's not an AI.
It's a bot though.
Just because the name bot.
What if you give a bot an aimbot? Be a little redundant, but
Well,
just spinning around the map.
bot could probably use it a lot better. It'd be a lot better to play with. A lot worse to play against though.
Mm-hmm. No, it'd be fun.
But there's a new company actually called OpenAI, and OpenAI is super cool because they are a nonprofit. And the biggest issue with people researching AI is companies like Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Apple. They all want to make their AI and have it be a product for them to make them money.
Mm-hmm.
OpenAI isn't trying to do this. They're trying to just develop AI research, publish everything that they learn, which is awesome, open source any patents that they get. But the problem is getting funding for this is insane.
Because you're not going to be making any money off of it.
Exactly. And it's so theoretical. It's such a theoretical field. But OpenAI, this awesome new company, just got funded by a variety of people, including Elon Musk, for $1 billion. Now, they're only expected to
That's
use...
billion with a B.
With the B. Now, they're only expecting to use a couple million a year, but to think they can do so much with this funding. And they have a whole blog post on it right there where you can learn a bit more about the company. And it's just really exciting to think about the advancements that we can have in AI that's usable by you and me compared to just some company holding on to it.
Yeah,
And,
we're talking like Jarvis level.
yeah,
fun.
like have that in your home, like built in really well. And Courier7 says real AI is cool, but most companies don't really have AI at all. And I would agree. A lot of the AI is very phony. It's very cookie cutter, where there's a lot of predetermined responses and how it handles things based on situations. Proper AI actually learns, and
Right, we've been seeing
like IBM's Watson is a great example of
Right.
this. Watson is hands down the top AI right now. But Google Brain, for example, over the summer they released something with their images where it's you feed it like white noise on an image and say, show me what you think a dog looks like. And it changes the image to sort of what it thinks a dog is based on what it's learned by scouring the internet. And it shows a dog. It creates a dog. And you start to see how it learns, and studying this, how the brain learns things, and taking that and making a computer do that same thing is just incredible. But there's also really weird limitations where an AI can't quite distinguish little nuances that you and I could. The best example of this was with Google Brain, and they said, "Show me what a dumbbell looks like. Like a weightlifting dumbbell."
Mhm.
And it did, but it had this weird little tan stick sticking off of it, and it didn't realize that all these images of a dumbbell were being held by an arm, so it was showing what it saw as a dumbbell had a human forearm attached to it at all times. And AI can't really figure that out, but we know that.
Right.
And funding companies like this, that's how we get that AI to really learn how to make all those little minute changes in how it perceives things.
In a way, it's like raising a child. Is you have to teach it stuff and tell it when it's wrong and correct it and feed it new information in a way that it can understand. Because in a way, it's artificial intelligence. We're not just born with everything that we have. We have to learn.
If you guys are interested in AI, Ray Kurzweil, who is a futurologist, he works at Google doing research, and he also founded Kurzweil Pianos, awesome musical instruments. But he's very prominent for predicting future things and doing it very accurately, from smartphones to AI to self-driving cars and everything in between. And he actually posted an article on his site towards the end of this last year actually, 2015,
Hey.
to go over the top AI breakthroughs of 2015. So if anyone is interested in that, I will post the link in chat right there.
I know I've been reading a lot of things lately where a lot of decent research has been coming out saying that 2016 is going to be the big year for AI too.
Oh yeah. You have, not only do you have things like that, but
You have all the data that's coming in from Cortana, Siri, Google Now, Tesla and their automated car or autopilot in their cars, just gathering and feeding this information in. And while it's not truly thinking and everything, it's getting that information there for an actual AI to start to learn.
yeah. And one of the things that you mentioned there was self-driving cars, and this whole making this technology with OpenAI accessible to anyone who wants to use it could completely change the game of industries like self-driving cars, which has been super locked out from people. There's actually a person named George Hotz. He is the guy who did the first iPhone jailbreak. He did the Sony hack on the PS3. He went under the alias GeoHot, and the guy is brilliant. He built a self-driving car in his garage and then took it out on the street. That's not quite so legal, but he did this. And imagine it works on the highway. It's not perfect, but imagine what he could do. Just smart individuals in their own lab environments with a well-developed open-sourced AI system. The possibilities are endless.
It really is.
It's straight Iron Man.
I would be okay with that.
You could sit in your own lab and you just have a constant person just at your beck and call being able to help.
Yeah.
And even to feed back into an earlier point, back to SpaceX. So they're trying to figure out all this fancy stuff to get us to Mars and all that stuff. Now you have obviously tons and tons of research that you have to do for that. What if an AI is doing that?
Doing the research?
Yeah.
That can accelerate.
Throw an AI at a quantum computer and our knowledge and understanding of stuff can exponentially increase at a level we've never seen before. Ever.
Yeah. Having AI do that level of research can accelerate our ability to do things like colonize Mars. It can accelerate it so much because we're not limited by humans doing it, because a computer can work faster than us. It's just how it is. I think that would be just incredible.
Yeah.
Once the technology fully grows, we're going to see something just change in terms of what happens with technology that I don't think any of us is expecting.
Yeah. I'm excited,
Yeah.
to say the least. But you gotta be careful with AI.
Yep.
You gotta be careful. You
Yeah,
don't
I
want Skynet. You
It's
don't
a
want
double-
Skynet.
Right, I know there
sword.
was the huge petitions going around at the beginning of the year with like Bill Gates, Stephen Hawking, Elon Musk again, basically saying we need to make sure we aren't creating an army of Terminators.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm so comfortable with OpenAI is because Elon Musk is a very big factor in that company right now.
Yeah, I think he's
And-
like the co-chairman or something like that.
Yeah, and I feel like he would make sure that it gets done right, but be very cautious at the same time.
Right, and that's been his entire stance on it going into it is, you know, all these companies are going in for exactly what they want to do and they're not thinking of the long-term ramifications of it.
Yeah.
Because if you, you know, say Apple comes up with their hyper-intelligent AI and everything, it's going to do all of its stuff specifically for Apple. Or
Yeah.
these for-profit companies aren't going to look at the end users. They're going to go straight for the profit margins.
Yeah, exactly. So, one thing with AI is you got to keep it really secure
Yeah.
as well. Really locked down, really secure. And you mentioned what Apple might do if they had an AI and they would need to keep it secure. And I actually don't think they'd really be able to do that because VentureBeat, actually, let's segue here, put out a whole article on the software with the most security vulnerabilities in 2015. Guess what topped the list?
I'm going to go with Flash.
No, actually, it was Mac OS X, followed by iOS, followed by Flash. Now the rest of the list for the top 10 was pretty much Adobe, because Adobe's horrible on security.
Dear God.
But yeah, it was OS X, iOS, Flash, and that blew my mind.
Yeah.
But Macs don't have viruses, guys.
So, actually, their website used to change that, and they were ordered by the court to change it to built-in security because it started to get viruses once people started to target it. That's what happens. People start using your OS, then people say, "Oh, they're using this. Let's target it."
Yeah, they find a way to break it.
But yeah, I mean, something Windows doesn't even hit the list until number 10,
Right.
and that's only one version of Windows, which is
Right, which version of Windows was it again?
it's one of the server versions.
Wasn't it 2012?
2012, not R2, I think, but
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's-
I mean it's crazy to think that this company that was consistently touted themselves as like we are super secure all the time, top of the list in security vulnerabilities.
Yeah, and I mean, even following that too, you have Apple and wasn't Java on that list fairly prominently as well?
Java was, yeah.
Yeah, but you have you know, Apple, Adobe, and all that stuff, and now you're seeing these huge push by Facebook, Mozilla, Google, and everything to basically say, let's get rid of Flash, just get rid of it.
Yeah, so actually, do you guys mind if I talk a little bit about Flash specifically?
No.
Let's go for it.
Let's talk about Flash. Over the summer, Flash had a very bad zero-day vulnerability that impacted every version of Flash on every operating system. This was a very big issue. It could potentially allow someone to take control of someone else's computer. And I actually worked on a team that sort of helped a little bit with like fixing that inside of a company. And we basically locked down Flash on everything. You can't use, like, no, you're just not allowed to use it right now. And it was nuts because you realized how many things were still using this archaic technology that
Oh,
was
I know.
super insecure. And so they had the 0 day, and we're trying to get everyone was trying to get it patched. Chrome and Firefox were like, you know what, we're disabling Flash entirely right now. Opt in to use Flash, not opt out right now because it's that bad. And then the next day, it's like, okay, you know, everything's not quite as on fire. Then the following day, 7 more vulnerabilities, critical vulnerabilities came out. And it's like, holy crap. We just had a massive, like, shitstorm because of one. Now we have 7 more.
Right, and like I'm dealing with things on at my job doing IT as well, and our software that does our automated patching and everything of things like Flash and everything isn't able to keep up. Like there's people going, yeah, my Flash needs an update, and I'm like, hell, this is supposed to do this last. Oh, there's more of them.
Yeah. So actually, a couple weeks, I want to say about a month ago, month and a half, Adobe actually made a press release where they said, yeah, there's a vulnerability in Flash right now, and we urge you to uninstall Flash. They urged people, Adobe, to uninstall their own product because of the security vulnerability.
And
It's not-
arguably their most widely used product in
Yeah.
that too.
other than maybe Adobe Reader. Actually, no, both. I would say Flash is more used than Adobe Reader. Yeah.
Right, because I'll personally use something other than Reader.
Yeah. I mean, but when the company itself is saying, you know what, we're not even going to be able to patch this in a reasonable amount of time, just uninstall our product, don't use it, that's when things are bad.
Yeah.
Like, really bad. It's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you can like let something like that go for so long, you know?
I don't know.
Just like a lack of foresight.
But they should really have, maybe they could open it up to people, have like bug bounties and for their security holes.
I think right now the big thing is just everyone just go, yep, just HTML5, just do that.
That sounds like a much better solution to me. Let's
Yeah.
just move everything to HTML5.
When I was doing web development, like way back in the day, I had to do a site for school, and I was putting media in there, and I'm trying to figure out Flash, having no idea what I'm doing, and I'm like, there has to be an easier... Oh, HTML5, I can put this tag here, link my source for my file, and... Well, that was easy enough. Next. And where's the security vulnerability in that?
Yeah.
There isn't.
Right.
I mean, use HTTPS, so use SSH or TLS. Not SSH, SSL. Or TLS, as it is now. And you're fine. Just keep it secure.
Yeah.
One thing, so like I mentioned before, Apple's like topping the list. It used to be Windows that was, heavily regarded as unsecure. And they actually, Windows 10 came out fully
At the end of
6
July.
or 7 months ago.
Yeah, at the end of July.
Yeah. 6 or 7 months ago, end of July. But pretty recently, they put out Windows Phone 10 as
And
well.
3 people found out about it.
Now, I've been using Windows 10 on my desktop for a while now,
Mhm.
and my laptop. I was using the preview builds for a bit. But Adam, I understand that you have actually been using Windows Phone 10 as well.
I've been using Windows Phone for a while. I'm one of those 3 people who was waiting for it.
But so you're on 10 now?
Yes.
Okay. So what are your thoughts? You mind giving us a little bit of insight onto that?
I mean, I really like it, especially from someone who's gone from Windows Phone 7 when it first came out to, Windows Phone 8, and now to the recently rebranded again Windows Mobile 10. Yeah,
Okay.
They'll find something they like.
they'll
soon
figure it
enough,
out one
yeah.
of these days. Yeah.
Microsoft and their naming is just bad. They do nothing but change their stuff a lot.
Yeah, they forgot about the number 9 when they were doing some OS builds.
They've rebranded OneDrive or SkyDrive or whatever so many times.
Yeah.
But Windows Phone 8 was when I started to really take Windows Phone seriously.
Yeah.
I liked it way more than any of the 7 iterations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once they started unifying everything from PC to the phone, that's when it really started to feel right. There's still some glaring issues, I will say that. For instance, do you guys use Snapchat at all?
Yes.
Of course.
Nope.
So, alright. I will say this, though. That is not an issue with the Windows Phone. The CEO of Snapchat is just an asshole.
Well, yeah, but,
So-
the point I'm trying to get at is that just gap in the apps that are out there.
Yeah.
Like, Twitch recently announced that they're doing a Universal Windows app, which is
That's
great.
awesome.
But things like Instagram, this has been in beta for 2 years, and it just hasn't been touched.
Yeah, Facebook is like Snapchat, where they tend to neglect anything that isn't iOS.
Right.
And Windows Phone is unfortunately at the bottom of their list. Maybe past BlackBerry, but BlackBerry uses Android now. So
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of cool new stuff in here. The OS feels extremely fluid. You were playing around with it a little bit
yeah,
too.
the camera really impressed me. It handled low light incredibly well.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the 3 LED sensors and everything like that, and the Carl Zeiss optic package. So it's able to do some great pictures for next to nothing. In terms of the hardware, it's only a 20 megapixel camera.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lumia 1020 had that 41 megapixel monstrosity that did ridiculous stuff.
That was,
I love
yeah,
it.
that's a niche. That's
I
a
had
niche
that
market,
phone. I love
though.
that phone.
That's very niche.
But I mean, otherwise everything just works. It feels fluid enough. There's still a bug here and there,
Okay.
but it's getting patched. The Cortana integration is extremely nice.
Especially using Cortana on your desktop as well, right?
Yeah, like all my activities and everything are synced across the entire board. Like I'm opening up Cortana right now, which of course none of you guys can really see, and if I held it up, you'd just see a white screen. So, but it's got, it's telling me it's going to take me 27 minutes to drive home. It's realizing that it's close to dinner time, so if I scroll past news and everything, it's recommending food in the area based on preferences.
All right, that's a first. I haven't seen Siri or Google Now do that.
Yeah, like it's suggesting that I go over to the Blue Canyon down the road there and get dinner.
That's expensive.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
But it's bringing in other stuff like news and everything, like astronomy news and artificial intelligence stuff, as we were talking about earlier, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll tell me when I need to leave for work, and there's little details here and there.
I think Cortana is closest in comparison to Google Now than it is to Siri, because Siri seems to be just way lacking compared to Cortana and Google Now. And I haven't really used it yet. I just installed it a couple days ago, but Cortana they have a beta for Android.
Yes.
And I'm really into Google Now, and I'm going to start using the Cortana one or enable Cortana on my desktop and my laptop. And I kind of want to feel that integration.
Yeah, the coolest integrated feature that I found the other day was purely by mistake. Like, I had no idea this even existed.
Those are the best.
And when I found this,
Nice little surprise.
when I found this, I think I damn near shit a brick. to be blunt here, I'm sitting there and I think I was playing Halo or something like that, and a buddy of mine called me, and I didn't hear my phone; it was on silent or whatever. And Cortana pops up on my computer saying, "Hey, you missed a call from this person. Would you like to text or reply?" And I'm like,
At your computer?
"Yeah, on my Windows 10 desktop."
Okay.
And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I'm busy right now playing Halo. What's up?" And I sent that reply. My phone goes off a little bit later saying it was sent, and then a little bit later he was just like, "Oh, not much. I just wanted to see if you wanted to hang out or something." And I'm like, "Did this just happen?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm finding myself more and more now that I know that feature's there. Like,
I wonder if Cortana would integrate with the SMS, like the texting on my Android phone. I'm gonna have to try this. I'm gonna set that up once we're done.
Yeah.
I think.
And see if it's like a good replacement to something like Push Bullet.
not
Yeah,
quite.
well-
Because she can only send the notification. Like, for instance, if I just got home or something like that, and I had asked my mom something.
You
I
can't
can
just send a text from your computer yet.
You can, but you can't reply to that text. You can't get the
Okay.
reply back. I can walk in and be like, "Hey Cortana, tell the person I'm hanging out with tonight that I'm going to be 10 minutes late," and she'll pop up, put your information in there and say, "Is this right?" And then you tell it to send. But if they reply back saying, "Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I'm running late too," you still have to dig your phone out and check that and spend that time.
So the one thing with Cortana that I saw that I absolutely loved, though, and this is a pretty old feature, is the reminder system. Now, being a user of Google Now, like, I can always say, set a reminder for this time, or set a reminder for when I'm in this place, and I can set, so like, let's say I go to the store and I have a reminder with a note, and I get to the grocery store and it pulls up my grocery list. But one of the things that Cortana does that I really liked was, remind me to tell my sister happy birthday the next time I talk to her. And if I get a call from my sister, it'll pop up and say, like, don't forget to tell her happy birthday, or ask her a question, or you know what I mean. Happy birthday is probably a bad example. I should probably just call her to let her know that, but instead of sending a reminder. But
One of the other really cool things on the reminder feature too is I'll have something like, if it's say it's garbage day or whatever and everything, I can be leaving work and say, "Hey Cortana, remind me when I get home to take the garbage out." And thanks to geofencing and all that stuff, when I get home, Cortana's going to pop up on my phone and say, "Hey, take the garbage out." It's just these little things here that are really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. I mean, she still has her bugs. Don't get me wrong. But for the most part, she still works, and she's fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
fun. Can you ask her jokes?
"Hey Cortana, tell me a joke."
No.
What do Winnie the Pooh and Ivan the Terrible have in common?
What?
The same middle name.
Oh my god. that was No, that was bad.
Her jokes are absolutely terrible, but they're so bad to the point where you have to laugh at them. But at the
I
same time, you're
guess.
rolling your eyes over it too.
That's
Yeah.
that's that's a pretty bad joke.
Those are pretty great jokes, actually.
It depends on how much you like, I guess the dad jokes, so to say.
I love dad jokes though.
Yeah.
Hashtag team dad jokes. Cool. So, I urge you to check out Windows Phone 10, Cortana, especially
and-
if you have Windows 10 on your desk.
And I'll actually be writing a review for the Tech and Games site in the next coming weeks or so.
Game site right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
So you guys can keep an eye out for that. I'm sure you guys can swing over to the Facebook group if you have anything that you really want me to check into. I have a friend that has my old phone still running Windows Phone 8 on it that I'm going to try to do a little bit of comparisons between.
Okay.
See if we can get a little bit of that, change log all the way through, and see where we can go from there. But hopefully we should have some good information there, and I'd be interested if anyone that is in the group watching this has any questions or whatever. I'll post up asking what people are thinking, because I want to see how well she stacks up with, or not she in general, but the phone stacks up against, what's currently going on with Google and Apple with their new phones, and see, where it really stacks up.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think we have a segue for this one.
we don't. Segways are weird.
Yes.
So I actually have this labeled here. To what level does Konami suck? Konami kind of sucks
Yeah,
a
they've-
fair amount actually,
They've gone
and
down quite a bit.
yeah. So there's actually a developer or director, Hideo Kojima,
Yeah,
right?
you got it.
Hideo Kojima, and he is in charge of the
Yeah, he's the creative mind
Metal Gear
behind-
Solid franchise.
and Silent Hill.
Yeah, and Silent
Oh,
Hill.
man.
Metal Gear Solid's a pretty big franchise. They had a Metal Gear Solid 5 come out, recently,
Yeah,
and
September, I
that was
believe.
supposedly just amazing. I never actually played it, but I know a couple of the other stream guys did.
I know
Steve did.
Keith, one of our other admins, he played it quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think he's rather enjoyed running down a hill in a cardboard box with Rebel Yell playing. That's kind of his moment.
But yeah, so Konami, which employed Hideo Kojima, would not allow Kojima to attend the Game Awards 2015.
To accept the award he won.
Exactly. He actually had Kiefer Sutherland accept the award on his behalf. Guy who played 20 in.
He
Jack
did the
Bauer
voice of Solid
24.
Snake, I believe.
Oh, that's why he accepted it. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
actually-
Konami wouldn't allow him to attend the awards show to receive his own award.
What was really interesting about that entire night too is I'm watching the Game Awards because they were supposed to have some new trailers and whatnot. I'm just like, yeah, let's see how it goes, And they announced whatever it won for. I forget exactly what category that award got, but the guy hosting it, he used to do a bunch of those video game hosting things and like G4 back in the day and whatnot. I forget the name, but it's like, yeah, we wanted to have Kojima here to accept the award, but Konami, under legal threat, said he could not accept the award.
Exactly. That's horrible.
Well, I don't even know what the rationale is for that.
Yeah, I know
They don't like the Game Awards.
he was, I guess, on his way out, because when Metal Gear Solid 5 was on its way to release, the closer it got to release, his name just kept getting stripped off the game more and more, and that's been a name that's been on his, on the Metal Gear Solid franchise since he created it.
Yeah.
And the community backlash was pretty strong. I think,
Oh yeah.
there was
There was a
definitely
lot of booing on the live stream.
Yeah,
for
and I know there was
for the
a
Game
rather
Awards.
not safe for work hashtag that appeared after that too.
Yeah. If only you could just take a Star Destroyer and just knock out Konami.
Oh my
There's our segue.
There we go.
Star Destroyers. Okay. Now, take that Star Destroyer, knock out Konami, and play Metal Gear Solid 5. All on the same thing. With this awesome to scale Star Destroyer replica that is a fully functioning gaming computer.
It's a big case.
It's a little big.
That's what she
I
said.
couldn't fit it on my desk without, not having my monitors there,
Yeah.
which kind of defeats the purpose of the desk. If you have two desks, you can do this.
For that niche market of people with 2 desks.
Yeah, pretty much. Or have it on like a display case next to your desk.
Build a room expansion.
Yeah, just
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 for
have a
this.
room for this computer. Isn't it just an office at that point?
Maybe.
But they need 2 desks in it.
Yeah.
Regardless, you need 2 desks. It's huge. It lights up. It's beautiful, and you can play Metal Gear Solid 5 on it. Probably
It has realistic sounds and lights and all that
Yeah.
other crap.
I won't.
Me too.
I don't have the money for that.
I'd rather have mine be like a Death Star or the Star Killer. I like the idea of a spherical computer.
Okay.
A BB-8 computer. There you go.
Oh God.
Oh man,
BB-8's been done to death.
it's
Except the Sphero BB-8.
I need. They finally put out the app for Windows Phone, and now I'm just like, I want this now. I can do something with it. We have 5 apps now.
Is that including the 2-year beta of Instagram? Isn't that 5
does,
apps?
Does
or
that count as an
5
app?
completed apps? Which one is
I'm
that?
going with the 5 completed apps.
Okay.
That aren't Microsoft owned.
Okay. And a lot more in beta. And speaking of apps that you can like play on one thing or another, the Xbox One just got backwards compatibility for 360 games.
For select 360 games.
Not all of them.
Right. Microsoft's focusing on their first-party ones first, and developers
Makes
have to
sense.
sign. There's a whole bunch of licensing shenanigans behind it all, because it was licensed for 360, and now they're going, "Hey, we're bringing it back now," and yeah. But yeah, that came out in the November update when Xbox One upgraded to Windows 10.
Yeah, isn't it running that like as its base now?
Yeah, the kernel upgraded from 8.1 to 10.
And the integration with the Xbox Live app on your computer, I hear, is awesome.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Like, being able to just join a party on my computer and talk with them. It's kind of like, I want to say like being able to join in Mumble on your computer, but you're joining through Xbox Live with your Xbox as well. So
Right, you can
it's all
stream
just
to
very
that.
easily integrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's all one thing.
yeah. Now here's the question: is Xbox Live gonna expand on their computer app and try to
Yes.
replace Steam?
Well, here's
I hope not.
I know Microsoft wants to get into that market. In their last, when Satya Nadella took over, he put out his 3 big things. Basically, Windows 10 is going to be huge, cloud first, mobile first, and the third one was gaming. To be the
Okay.
third pillar of Microsoft's entire resources. I know Fable Legends, which has been in beta for a year or more now. It's everyone got hyped, and then it went into beta, and then everyone forgot, and then it keeps getting delayed. But that has the Xbox Live SDK available for that full cross compatibility. They're pushing pretty hard to try to get PC games and Xbox games to start working together soon.
Okay, I think that'd be cool.
It would.
It's a dangerous concept.
I mean,
Yeah.
they toyed with it back in the 360 days, but it never really took off. I think Shadow Complex was the game, or not Shadow Complex, Shadow Run was the game.
Okay, yeah.
But we're starting to see what Microsoft can try to leverage with this new unified platform now, and the cloud and all those shenanigans.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
It does.
I'm okay with cross-platform play. I think it can work a lot, but I think there's a lot of instances where it won't work really well.
Right, so far all the
True.
cross-platform stuff I'm seeing is only from Windows 10 devices.
Yeah,
Which at least knocks out one
I was
problem
actually
area.
not even thinking of technical limitations. I was thinking in terms of gameplay.
Right, like keyboard, mouse versus controller.
Yeah, that's actually one of my biggest concerns with that. For example, I play a lot of Counter-Strike, and Counter-Strike is a very
Precise.
you have to be very, it's very precision heavy, and using the mouse is just significantly better than a gamepad. It doesn't matter how good you are with the gamepad, you will be outdone by a person with a mouse
Right.
with that game. Now,
Just
other
so
games
much
it can
faster.
work okay.
I've got one thing to just solve your problems.
What?
The director of Xbox, whose name escapes me at the moment, the guy in charge of that whole thing, Phil Spencer, that's the guy, has said they are working on keyboard mouse controls over on the console.
Okay, see, that would be cool, like, if you could have that option.
And
My only thing is, like, I feel like most people have consoles hooked up to their entertainment stands.
right,
and I can't sit in my couch with a keyboard and mouse on my lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of defeats the purpose of going to your couch.
Yeah.
But the idea is there. Well,
Yeah.
it's interesting to see where people take that, but
Now,
Can wreck noobs the whole other way now.
yeah, good.
let's say instead of playing with the keyboard mouse at your computer, you were playing with the controller. I know they have the Steam controller out, and we talked a little bit about the Steam controller when it first came out in our first episode back in November. And Don, you have the Steam controller.
Mm-hmm.
It's been out for a couple months now. What are your thoughts on it? Have you been using it for anything really?
I haven't used it a ton. I used it a little bit for Rocket League. I ended up defaulting to the keyboard and mouse because it was a little bit more familiar. But with the Steam controller, you have a lot more options to like control different aspects of how you play the game. Specifically, I'll bring up the example of like if you're like in the air trying to control your car. It's a lot more difficult when you have a keyboard and mouse because you can't control all three axes of your car's rotation while you're in the air. You have to. It takes a little bit more effort, but if you with a controller you can. It's a lot easier to direct yourself exactly where you want to go. So it's really good in that respect. It's also like it's not great for FPS games. It's good for maybe like casual or single player games. But if you're playing any kind of first person shooter, keyboard and mouse is just unbeatable, like you said. It's just that immediate precision is you just can't beat it.
If you play games other than like first person shooters a lot,
Yeah.
would you recommend the Steam controller?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's getting more and more support by different like actual companies. There's a lot of like player made profiles out there, and it's really easy to access them through like big picture mode and stuff. Like you go into your game and you can select like these different custom controller profiles that players have made, and they're like ranked by their popularity. And so that's really convenient for it being only a few months released, but I think it'll really start taking off once more and more companies really give it that native support, like outright, because kind of backtracking to it leaves a little bit to be desired.
Okay.
So
I think I'm gonna get the second generation.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna hold off for that.
I think they did a lot of things right.
It's only gonna get better.
Yep.
I hope.
Yes.
Especially when they've got awesome competition from the Xbox Elite controller.
Yeah, which I finally brought that over to PC gaming with Rainbow Six Siege, and it's still your typical controller feel, but just that level of precision they brought with it is just so much there, just so much.
Very noticeable compared to other older controllers.
Yeah, and like looking at like Rainbow Six Siege and everything, where you have those, you get shot like 3 times and you're dead. Being able to, hit those hair trigger locks and just get that rapid fire while conserving the little ammo that you have, and being able to quickly duck around corners and just quick scope and stuff like that. It makes it feel extremely precise. Something that you didn't see out of the original Xbox controller, or the original Xbox One controller, or the 360 controller back in the day.
Yeah, and both these controllers give you a lot more options at your fingertips without having to like move your thumbs to a different part of the controller. Like you can have your thumbs on both joysticks and actually be able to do more than like just your R2 L2 to really you could have your reload set to one of the triggers down like by like where your pinky or
That's actually precisely my Halo 5 layout. Is I have melee and reload right underneath there, so I always have a finger on the trigger, and I
don't
always
have to move your finger off the joystick as much.
Exactly, fingers are always on a joystick and always on a trigger.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it just allows you to be combat ready more often. So if you, instead of like
probably increases how quickly you can react to things too, because you
Yeah.
have to,
Oh, yeah,
you have to
there's
move, click, and move back.
There's a clip I'll show you guys after this. I was playing Halo 5 with a friend, and it was, if you're familiar with the SWAT game type, no shields, headshots, essentially. I'm running down this corridor and everything, and this guy just pops around, and I have my melee map down here, and I just went right from a dead sprint and just punched him right in the face instead of launching it all the way across this corridor. And it's just like, yeah, if I didn't have that reaction time, wouldn't have been there. And in a game type like SWAT, where that one single shot will end you,
Makes a big difference.
huge difference.
Yep.
So that controller is probably way more viable for competitive play.
Definitely.
Instead of, that's good on Microsoft for embracing that instead of leaving it to third-party markets.
Right, I mean, the third-party options are still great and all. I've heard a lot of good, especially Scuf and their products are
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh, not saying that's killing the third-party market.
Right, but it adds that competition to the market, and that was
The third party used to
exactly.
be ahead of the game compared to the OEM controllers. Now they have to step up their game even more now.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
hope it inspires some real innovation with
Yeah,
that.
I want to see like a V2 of the Elite controller, where like you have like little like grips and everything on the side where you can pop those off and pop new ones on.
Okay.
And really just tailor it down to your exact comfort level.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's like a gaming mouse essentially. They're
Right.
giving you just
think
that
like the Rad
ultimate-
gaming mouse where you can customize every little detail
yeah,
on it.
that,
Put that in a modular controller that's well built. Until
get
you
it
rage
perfect
quit
to
and
your
throw it,
size.
and then it blows
It
up all over the room.
breaks into a ton of little pieces. Yeah, I mean, getting it to fit perfectly into your specific hands, like you said about the grips, like, let's say I like to be able to move my hand around the controller very easily.
Yeah, and you
so
have that
don't
smooth polish and everything.
Yeah, but let's say I like having a really firm grip and I have all my buttons mapped perfectly for me, and I don't want it to slide out of my hand at all.
Right.
I can have that happen.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd be
It really
okay with
would.
that.
But I mean,
I think that's where the controllers in general have the most room to expand is customization, because for forever it's like, this is what you got, deal with it.
yeah,
you know.
yours is a black one, yours is a white one, yours has a Star Wars logo on it, yours is something else.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you could do up to this point.
And I think the biggest statement to Microsoft's success with this product, Amazon still says the next orders that they can fulfill for this Elite controller are in March.
That's quite the back order.
Yeah, especially when it's already at the $150 price point.
Yeah, if you go to r/Xbox One and you keep an eye out there, as soon as it becomes available anywhere, it's a post up and you watch it get sold out within hours. I think there's a post one day I saw Best Buy said it's in stock online. Within 10 minutes, they were sold out again.
Everyone bought them out.
Yeah.
Even
Jeez.
Phil Spencer of Xbox said if you find one, buy it. If you go on eBay, you can buy them now for $300.
Jeez.
Do you think that Microsoft is intentionally hindering supply to create this appearance of high demand?
It wouldn't be the first. They did it with the first version of the
I mean,
Microsoft.
every
Band.
company does that.
right?
Yeah, it's the illusion of limited edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if the other thing though is Microsoft, I honestly think Microsoft didn't expect this to take off. They showed it off at E3 and said we're doing this. They showed off another video. They did kind of a technical walkthrough of it, and
You kind of expected it to be a niche market kind of thing.
right. And then when it got closer to release, people I knew that worked at GameStop said, "Hey, buy this if pre-order this if you want one."
Yeah.
And then I did that, picked mine up, and then everyone at it was the Halo 5 launch, they're looking at it going, dude, I want to get one. And they're just like, we're already sold out. He got the only one. And then Microsoft came out later, said yeah, we weren't expecting this at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was the big debate, is everyone's like, is $150 too much to pay for this control? I think you can get one with a rechargeable battery pack for $180.
Wow.
So is this $150 to $200 price range with tax? Is that something people want to spend on these controllers? And
Apparently.
yeah,
Apparently that's been a real gap in your console experience is the controller. They've been updating graphics and with the new Windows 10 update to Xbox, cross-platform communication and support and that sort of thing. What's left? It's the controller, it's the thing you got in your hands every time. And it just has been neglected for so long.
I'm glad to see it getting some love. Maybe it'll be a lot more viable on the PC in the future.
Yeah, maybe we'll get less of the PC Master Race
Because
crap that happens.
honestly, I like using my keyboard and mouse at my desk, but sometimes I just want to lay back on the couch, put my legs up and just sort of chill.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
you can't really do that with the computer.
Mm-hmm.
You can try, but you're gonna end up fumbling over
Yeah,
it.
but I mean, if I have like one of the new Steam Links in my living room,
Mm-hmm.
and then just a controller plugged into that, I could do that.
Mhm.
Casually play some games from my couch.
Yeah.
I would do that in a heartbeat. I need to order a Steam Link. Shit. I need to get on that.
I think one of the other admins in the group just got one not too long ago. I'll have to see what he thinks of it. And
I
how it all
think
I was
plays.
playing around with it for about 2 weeks, and I liked it a lot.
Mhm.
It was better than I was expecting.
I think if you order them off Steam, you get 2 free games.
Yeah, I think
games
he,
I already have though.
I think
Yeah.
he got like Left 4 Dead 2 and like
CS:GO.
Yeah.
Courier 7 just got his Steam Link.
I think that might be one of my admins.
Maybe, but he thinks it's great.
Is this
Mhm.
Tanban in there? Is that Courier 7?
Tanban. That sounds like another nickname.
Yes, we have a lot of those.
So
Apparently
you
that
have
one
a
wasn't
you're
supposed
calling
to...
the guy with a nickname a nickname.
Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about. CS:GO, Left 4 Dead 2. Okay.
Yeah.
He says yes. Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the nickname he somehow got late night in one of the admin chats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who this is. All right, sweet, cool.
Yay, we're making friends.
Hey, friends we already had.
So with a controller in some games, you can probably control something really cool, like
Like
a
a
character
rocket
on a
car.
jetpack,
Like a rocket car.
like a rocket car. I was thinking you can control someone in a jetpack. Speaking of jetpacks, Dubai actually just had a massive fire in one of their buildings. It was
Mhm.
burning for like over 24 hours.
Yeah, it was like the
nuts.
New Year's Eve fire.
But their firefighters will soon be able to get up close and personal to the fire from the outside with jetpacks. Now, I don't like calling these things jetpacks personally. Although they are very cool, they have propellers on them. It's not jets.
It's a fan pack. It's a fanny pack.
Pretty
Oh
much.
gosh.
I call it the
It's a double fanny pack.
Yes.
the backpack copter sort of thing. I don't know.
The butt copter.
Copter.
There we go.
It's
Trademark
official.
that.
So what qualifies a device as a jetpack?
To me, the jetpack's always going to be the Boba Fett jetpack from Return of the Jedi that doesn't fly you into the Sarlacc pit.
It's a pretty bad jetpack then.
Right.
So,
But just
but it has to have jets on it.
Right. Those are like rocket thrusters. More of a rocket pack, I guess you could say. But
Yeah, but like as long as like shooting out flames, essentially.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, is
No.
does it have to have? Is it like rocket powered, or is it like you got a big turbine back there that's
I think
pumping out
either is
horsepower?
okay as long as it's not just like a propeller, like fans blowing you.
Well, that's kind of what a turbine is.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But I just know that it needs to have like it needs to be much more like a jet, and it can
Mhm.
it can be like a use it for jumping or have enough thrust to like make you fly. Either's okay as long as it happens. I've only seen one that actually looks legit.
Is it the
But-
one from the last episode where it was flying alongside next to the planes, or?
Wasn't that in Dubai too?
Yes.
Yes.
Dubai has a thing for jetpacks and a lot of money.
I think they just have a thing
They
for
just
a lot
have
of
the
money.
money. They'll do whatever with it.
Like build buildings that can catch on fire and burn for 24 hours and still just be standing.
Their beams didn't have jet fuel on them.
Yeah, obviously. You better watch those jetpacks getting so near there. You might actually cause the collapse.
Oh god, I'm just waiting for all the conspiracy theories now.
Yeah,
Jet fuel.
yeah. It's all about the jet fuel, man.
Steel beams can't melt jet fuel.
That's true.
Because you can't melt jet fuel unless you freeze it first, which I think would require it to be very cold.
In space, maybe.
Freeze it in space. Let's do it. Melt the moon. Melt Mars. All right.
We want to colonize
So-
those, though.
It'll be
Yeah.
a bit warmer.
So, the technology to do things like jetpacks, space colonization, little things like that.
Fallout 4 instead of Pornhub.
Yeah. A lot of this can be done with really cool open source software, and a lot of these really cool pieces of hardware like jetpacks typically run on a Linux distribution.
Actually, even the Steam boxes and everything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Steam OS is Linux. Like a lot of this is Linux. We actually had a very sad day recently. Ian Murdoch, who is the founder of Debian.
And a main employee at Docker as well.
Yeah, he was a key employee at Docker, founder of Debian, and the creator of apt-get. Google those if you don't know them. Okay. Debian is a Linux base for Linux, and he committed suicide a few days ago.
It was a weird circumstance leading up to that, too.
Yeah, apparently he was like attacked by he was like beaten by the police.
Yeah, his Twitter went into some really weird things about like police brutality and whatnot, and then he was going to commit suicide and everything, and it was a weird. happening.
Yeah, and but he is no longer with us, and that's a really big loss to the open source and Linux community because he did a lot of very influential work that most people. Those are the people like him who are known within like the community of that, but everyone knows who Steve Jobs is.
Yeah,
everyone
Steve
knows
Jobs.
who Larry Page is.
Yeah, and Bill Gates.
Who Bill Gates
Yeah.
is. But the some of the people who are really like down in like the nitty gritty of it all, like they'll manage that stuff. But people like Ian Murdoch, like they really he's like Steve Wozniak compared to Steve Jobs. Like
a lot more behind the scenes.
behind the scenes, really got stuff done on a technical level.
He started doing this in what, like 93?
a long time ago.
I recall seeing the date that he started, and I'm sitting there looking at it like he's been doing this for almost the majority of my entire life. Like, just, the work that he's done and all that stuff, it's a big loss.
He will be missed.
Indeed.
I'm trying to think of how I can segue.
Just
I really, we can't. There's you can't
So,
segue from
not
that.
in an appropriate way.
So
Yeah.
just look into Ian Murdoch and some of the stuff that he did. You should definitely get to know who he was. So let's talk real quick. We're gonna move topics to the upcoming Assassin's Creed movie. All right, with Michael Fassbender as, I don't know the character's name, but the assassin.
I think it's all. I haven't recalled reading over the plot of it, but I think if they're doing the first game, it should be Altair or whatever.
They might be doing Altair.
Yeah.
Whoever he's playing, I think Michael Fassbender can do well, but he never actually played any of these games. And then they cast him for this role, and he's like, okay, I should probably play these, see what the character is like. It's like, okay, I guess. And they put out some photos from it, and it looks kind of cool, but it doesn't look very stealthy.
Right. It looks. It doesn't look like the game felt in a way.
Yeah. It kind of looked like he was out in the open having a sword fight, like, which I get happens in the game, but there was like a lot of ruckus and like things going on. I'm like, oh, I feel like this should be like really stealthy.
Yeah.
That's the problem is stealth isn't as exciting as, in-your-face sword fight.
I don't know, having like a parkour chase.
That's not
Through
stealthy.
rooftops?
That's not stealthy either, though.
It can be.
Yeah, there's even the build-up suspense when he's trying to assassinate like a like an important target that's like giving a public speech or something like that, trying to figure that one out. That can get pretty suspenseful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of moments
You
playing.
assassinate him at like the height of the speech.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of times playing the games back in the day, whereas you got those moments like you're chasing after a military officer or whatever, and he's surrounded by his guards, and you're trying to get that 1 second they look the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they can do a lot with this, but this happens a lot with movies based on video games. There's such a high potential, but reaching it is also very high difficulty.
Yes.
Because it's kind of a step backwards.
You're going from that player controlled interaction to just player observing interaction.
Yeah. And I don't know. Playing a movie is not as exciting as playing a game.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel that immersion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know like the Doom movie tried it with that whole first person sequence, and it was just bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I have high hopes, but we'll see.
We will
It
see.
has great potential, but it also has great potential to fail as well.
And the thing that's disappointing about that is if it fails, how many other big producers are going to look at that and go, maybe we shouldn't be doing these video game movies? Because there's still some games that I really want to see a movie.
I don't
for.
think they'll ever learn. Like,
Probably not. I mean, they're
or
gonna.
at least learn
They
how
only
to
have
do
so
things
many ideas
properly.
they can only rehash and everything like that. So.
and you're basing content off of a game, which was not like, I don't know.
So what kind of games are you talking about that you'd like to see put into, like, a movie?
I really want to see Mass Effect, the Mass Effect movie come to
Okay.
life. I mean, BioWare created such a phenomenal universe with that franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And even though the story, you have your various choices and everything to go off of, there's still kind of the general idea of the main canon story.
Mm-hmm.
So there's enough of it where, the player that is now watching this movie can still go through it and be fairly happy with the choices that the movie directors made.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they did the game is there's so many of those cinematic moments, too, that it just fits so well, I think, with the film format.
Mm-hmm.
And the character development was so well there. Like, you can, it's kind of one of those games where I feel you can sit back and just watch someone play the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll feel like a 7 to 13 hour movie for the, no side quest one.
Mm-hmm.
But it has that value to it. I think I referred to it a lot back in the day when it first came out as, like, the new Star Wars.
Okay.
Okay.
And just so many things they did so perfectly with it.
Yeah.
But
See, like, I watch a lot of Twitch streams, and I can watch someone play through a game and, like, watch the story of the game, but I don't feel as invested into the characters even as when I watch a movie.
well, put this in perspective. A lot of people that I know, grown men at that too, have played through Mass Effect, and some of the choices that happen, especially in the third game, they're just like, yeah, there were feels. I teared up a little bit.
Yeah.
And you do not see that in a lot of games
Like-
these days.
I recently played Spec Ops: The Line, which came out a few years ago. But there were a lot of things with that game where it forces you to look at horrible decisions that you had to make in a war zone.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you watched the character do this. Like, you execute this action, you watch the character do this, and you visualize the horror of it.
Mhm.
But they might have a movie character do this, then visualize it, but I don't get the same emotion as if I was like, holy shit, I just did this to all these people.
Right. It's like,
And it's hard to recreate those sort of emotions.
right. Yeah, I know. That'll be the interesting thing with that whole Mass Effect movie idea is there's a lot of deep bonds created between characters through long out dialogue options and relationships that were built and everything. But it was.
Why don't we have you make the new Mass Effect movie?
I think I'm a little underqualified.
Maybe that's what they need. Maybe we don't need someone who just sees this game and wants to do it. We need to have people who are just enthusiastic about the game to
Here-
really help make the movie.
That's what I was thinking, but there's the person they have for it is extremely more qualified than I am for it. The creative director behind the games is, I think, involved
Okay.
as one of the executive producers of the movies.
Okay,
So,
that would work.
so I'm expecting that to be fairly true to what they were set out to create. So,
as long as they have
fingers crossed.
the game makers at least on board and really trying to make it have such a similar feel, as similar of a feel as they can.
Hmm.
I think that's essential.
Yeah, I think they can do it. Maybe
I
I'm being
hope so.
overly optimistic. I don't know.
Maybe not.
I think
We'll
they
see.
should do a Portal movie.
Yes.
Oh yeah, even the fan-made ones were fantastic.
Dude, the fan-made shorts are phenomenal.
Hmm.
You know what they have a lot of in video games like Mass Effect and Portal? Robots.
Robots.
Robots!
We don't talk about robots in this.
At least not good robots.
No.
Just really bad ones.
So we actually, every month that we do the show, we have our shitty robot of the month. And this month, we decided to go with Thomas the War Engine.
Not to be confused with Thomas the Dank Engine.
I love that subreddit so much.
Thomas the War Engine is quite intimidating. I think it has a laser that can. It's one of the green lasers that can.
Can
pop
we
balloons.
can we
Just
have that
gonna-
pop up in the stream?
Yeah, well, let's just do that. Oh God, you guys are seeing crazy stuff right now. This is Thomas the War Engine. He's very cute.
He reminds me of that, like, that one toy from the Crazy Neighbor Kids room. Sid.
Yeah.
Sid, yeah.
With the doll
Look at
head
him
on
pop
top
that
of the
balloon.
erector
Look at this.
set.
Boom! Like 2 seconds with that laser, and not even.
This
That
thing is
balloon
the stuff of
toast.
childhood nightmares.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like a shitty robot or a brilliant robot.
Well, all he's
However-
got is the laser. Like, you think he could survive in a BattleBots arena?
Not with just a laser.
Exactly.
Something with like a spinning saw blade would F
But
him
can you imagine
up.
if the other
Yeah,
arm was
there's-
just a giant spinning saw blade of his own?
Okay, that'd
Or
be
a
cool.
torch or something like that?
Or if the laser was hot enough and he could heat up the saw blade.
Ooh.
Why don't we build a BattleBot?
Oh my gosh.
But
Thomas
this thing
the
is the
Nightbot.
stuff of like nightmares. Like it's horrifying. Also, we need to stop giving robots weapons. This is like a trend. I've seen so many robots with knives, recursive views. Woohoo! So many robots with knives anymore. It scares the hell out of me. Quit giving robots knives.
Just imagine when they get artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Like, they're totally gonna come after me, I feel.
Yeah, I know how I'm dying.
As long as they don't get feelings.
Yeah, well, I don't know. So, my launch phrase for my phone is OK Robot Slave.
You're waiting for your
I
phone to light up.
intentionally didn't say it too loud. So as long as it doesn't start learning my phrases and going, hey, look what he calls us, I think I'm okay. But if we give an AI a knife and it hears me say that, I'm screwed.
Oh, could you just imagine if, like,
No, you're
Cortana on
knifed.
your computer is, like, listening to you, and when you have, like, a problem at work and you just can't fix this thing, and you just start spewing profanity at the computer?
Better watch
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't
There's
know.
a saw blade's gonna come out of the disk drive.
I would have had to put it there, right?
out. Shoots out throwing
It's
stars.
scaring me a little bit.
Cut out of.
He's just
CD
like, I'm removing
discs.
optical drives tonight.
Oh, yeah. Those ninja stars out of the CDs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Why isn't this a shitty horror movie already?
We can make it.
We're doing it.
All right. Coming in.
You've heard,
By
you've
the
heard
time
it
I get
here
around,
first.
by the time I get around to it, coming 2040 is this new horror movie. By that time, optical discs will be phased out more than they are now. That's why they use them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, every once in a while you do find that old server with a floppy drive somewhere, so
Oh gosh.
it'll just be like the data center nightmares.
That's the working title. Data
God,
Center Nightmares.
Imagine a data center just like working against you. You're trapped in the data center. The lanes of computers change. It's like a maze.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, it's like
And they
it's
start
like the
pump-
maze from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Except instead of vines that come out and like tangle your legs, all of a sudden like you're trapped in a corner and Ethernet
Ethernet
cables
cables.
come out, and all of a sudden you have fiber around your neck. God, dude, we should so make this.
All the RAID drives are just bright red.
And they're overheating on purpose to pump the heat up.
Nothing but
Listen,
blue screen surrounding
It's
you.
like the red lights. It's like the drives aren't failing; they're angry.
And it just has the Windows 10 blue screen in the background of just the frowny face.
And one of the little angle brackets that's just an angry face. Let's not have this happen in real life, but we can make a movie about it. We can make a movie about it.
This is going to be like the worst rated movie ever on Netflix in 20 years.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
I feel like that'd be an honor.
That's a lofty goal.
If
to
we
be
can
the
be worse than Troll
You know
2?
what?
Troll 2 is amazing.
If we can get a movie made that is so bad, they do a riff tracks with it. That's when you know you made a bad movie.
Yeah, that's when
A
you
good-
know
no,
you
that's-
made it.
You made a good bad movie. A movie that's so bad it's good. That's what
we'll have
aiming for.
Cortana write all of our jokes. 'Cause you
Actually,
know those will be
Though
terrible.
You would only sell. Yeah, you'd only sell to dads then.
I'm okay with that.
But you'll get all the teenage crowd watching it, you're just rolling their eyes the entire time.
Yeah, pretty much.
The fact
That
into
would
the
be
bad
a
movie.
horror movie.
Yeah, the really bad humor and just the flat dialogue and like
Actually, I
the
think we
terrible
could do that
emotion.
really well.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
could probably make that movie way better than we should be able to.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right,
Speaking
I'll-
of movies,
yeah.
there's a movie. Oh, we got one more thing we're going to talk a little bit about, and we're going to say this at the very end. We're going to talk a little bit about the new Star Wars movie.
Spoiler alert.
So we're actually going to sort of wrap up real quick.
Yeah, we can't spend too long on this because I actually have a date to go see the Star Wars movie again.
All right, that sounds good. So we're going to wrap up just real quick. We're going to stick around after that. We're going to talk a little bit about the new Star Wars movies. So spoiler alert. Don't really watch much after this.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it after
If you
we
have
get
not
off
seen
here, you're
um,
gonna want to be done.
So, thanks for tuning in. This was our second show. We
Mhm.
plan on doing another one the first Saturday of February.
Mhm.
Not sure what date that is exactly. That is the 6th. February 6th. We will be live with our next talk show. New
Yes.
topics, new fun. Don't forget, we do all of our streams to raise money for charities.
Mhm.
Right now, we're raising money for Child's Play Charity, which you can click their logo below the stream and go to the donate page. And any donations that get made, we will read aloud on the stream. And while you're at it, check out the Tekken Games community by clicking the Tekken Games banner below,
Mm-hmm.
and the blog at Tekken News site, new news site, TekkenGames.gg. Check that out.